and good morning to Miss Iziani and fellow friends. First of all, I would like to thanks all of you for allocating your time to be in this discussion today. Basically, this interview is about professional interview question based on Institute Engineer Malaysia IEM regulation on professional conduct. Before that, I would like to introduce our panel for today's discussion. Ms. Nurul Iziani Binti Ramli, our senior and final year student 2019. So Ms. Iziani, can you introduce more about you?
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone. So my name is Nurul Iziani Binti Ramli. I'm graduated last year, 2019, in Electrical Electronic Engineering, major in microelectronics. So currently I'm working with Intel in Kulim, Kedah. So I'm working as graduate trainee for 1 year, but I get extended for another year, so it's 2 years. And also I'm a postgrad student taking under research on benchmarking of deep learning AI. So I think that's all for myself. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me also.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, proceed.
So generally, I am from the Code of Ethics and is cover all major engineering disciplines practiced in Malaysia. So there are 15 codes of ethics in total, but in our opinion, we can apply 4 of them to face such a situation that is related to the task given. First is a member should attempt to take care to ensure that his work and the product of his work constitute no available danger or death or injury. The second one is a member should take care all reasonable steps to avoid waste of natural resources, damage of the environment, and wasteful damage or destruction of the product of human skill industry. The third one is a member should take all reasonable steps to maintain and develop his professional competence by attention to new development in science and engineering relevant to his field or of professional activity, and if he is an employer, should encourage his professional employees to do likeness. And the last one is a member should not undertake responsibility as a professional engineer which he does not believe himself competent to discharge. So after this, we can hear our panel's opinion whether she agrees on this code or not after this.
So without further ado, we would like to hear Ms. Iziani's opinion based on a given situation. So the situation would be, as a young engineer, you are instructed by your employer to prepare a bankable report for a prospective project based on the information provided by your employer. So you have no access to ascertain the reliability of the information provided. In the light of the IEM regulations and on professional conduct, how do you advise your employer so that you may complete your assignment with integrity? So what's your opinion?
Thank you. This is Farah. Okay, so for my opinion, firstly, I would say that there is a routine work for engineer to prepare a bankable report for employees. So with no certain access to information provided, okay, so firstly, my opinion is we need to firstly measure all the reasonable consequences of the inaccurate information. For example, we need to take care whether the misinformation will lead to positive impact or negative impact. And we need to also take care whether the consequences will affect the employer and the employee, that is for sure, but also whether the consequences will affect the minor stakeholders, meaning the community and also the natural environment of the project. So firstly, we need to consider the consequences of the inaccurate information, because from the code of conduct, right, from the IEM regulation and professional conduct, it is said that we need to ensure that the work is not exposed to any danger. So we need to make sure that first. Okay, so and then secondly is we need to list down what are the incorrect or what are the missing information that we need. This is a way of communication lah. So we need to list down all the missing information and tell the employer what are the missing information. So basically, the employer will connect or communicate with the client to provide all the missing information, because that missing information will bring height lah. We bring what we call it. Later we will face problem if we do not have that complete information to continue the project. So we need to list down what are the required information that are not provided and discuss with our employer. Okay, thirdly, usually IEM or BEM will have their representative, or I can say the senior engineers in our in one of the project that they conduct. So one of the thing that we can do as a young engineer, we can seek advice from the senior engineer. So based on it's still based on the IEM regulation and professional conduct, because a member who, because one of the professional conduct says that a professional advice is needed in order for a project to be run. So IEM and ABM will always have representative in the project. So we need to seek for advice from them, and also we can learn something also from that advices. So that is my opinion. So firstly, we need to list down all the consequences, positive impact and negative impact. And secondly, we need to discuss with the employer what are the missing information. And thirdly is ask for advice from the senior engineer, from IEM or BEM representative. So that's all for my opinion.
Oh, Miss Zaini, can I ask? Okay, in Intel, Miss Zaini ever face a situation that give negative impact to the community because of missing information or because of another else?
I never faced that, but because in Intel, we will have training before we start any work. So in the beginning of our enter, meaning the what we can say, the probation week lah. So we will have to attend a training class, some sort of training on the code of conduct, on the rules and regulation of what Intel has as listed down as a guideline for us engineers. So we never, for me lah, for 1 year so far, I never faced that. But I can see the problem, before the problem get worse, they already encountered that earlier. So we don't have to face any big consequences because of that problem. So that is very good, very professional lah.
So Farah Dayana is.
I think I don't have any questions. Okay, thank you for Miss Jenny for joining us and give your opinion about these situations. And anyone to add?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning to Mr. Khairul Azman and fellow friends. So first of all, I would like to thank all of you for allocating your time to be in this discussion today. So basically, this interview is about professional interview question based on Institute Engineering Malaysia IEM regulation on professional conduct. Before that, I would like to introduce our panel for today's discussion, Mr. Khairul Azman, our senior and finalist 2018. So, Mr. Khairul Azman, can you introduce more about you?
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Khairul Azman bin Azmi. I'm a graduate in 2018 from UPN. So basically now I work as a service engineer in Toshiba Tech Malaysia Sdn Bhd. So my job scope basically do the maintenance of the printer, the big printer. So my base is at KLIA. So because my company have signed the agreement with the Malaysia Airline Berhad, so I responsible to take care of all their printers. Basically, they have around 100 something printer. So my job basically, if they have problem with printer, so I need to attend and do the service, or if they want to install the printer driver in their laptop, so I need to help them.
IEM formed the Code of Ethics and it covers all major engineering disciplines practiced in Malaysia. There are 15 codes of ethics in total, but in our opinion, we can apply 4 of them to face with a situation that is related to the task given. So the first code is a member shall at all times take care to ensure that his work and the products of his work constitute no avoidable danger of death or injury or ill health to any person. A member shall take all reasonable steps to avoid waste of natural resources, damage of the environment, and wasteful damage or destruction of the products of human skill and industry. And then the third one is a member shall take all reasonable steps to maintain and develop his professional competence by attention to new developments in science and engineering relevant to his field of professional activity. And if he is an employer, shall encourage his professional employees to do likeness. So the last one is a member shall not undertake responsibility as a professional engineer which he does not believe himself competent to discharge. So let's hear our panel's opinion whether he agrees on this code or not after this.
So without further ado, we would like to hear Mr. Azman's opinion based on a given situation. Okay, the situation will be, as a young engineer, you are instructed by your employer to prepare a bankable report for a prospective project based on the information provided by your employer. You have no access to ascertain the reliability of the information provided in light of the IEM regulation on professional conduct. Okay, Mr. Azman, how do you advise your employers so that you may complete your assignment with integrity?
So basically, in my opinion, before we do the task that delivered by the employer, so we need to get more information about the task because we don't want to fail it. So basically, in my opinion, in order to advise the employer to complete the task, we need to take all reasonable measure to explain the consequence of the inaccurate information to the employer that may affect the result both positively and negatively. So the explanation consequence shall not be limited to the consequence faced by the employer of the client, but shall also include any consequence to other minority stakeholder of the project. Basically, what I mean is the consequence is not affect ours, but it also affect our client. So we don't want to risk the the business between our company and our client. So we need to get as much as information that can help us to complete the task. Okay. So that's all in my opinion.
Okay, Mr. Azman, can I ask you one question?
Yeah. Okay.
Based on your experience, did you face any project before this that give negative impact to the community due to misinformations or another else problem?
So far, as I work at Toshiba, basically, I don't have such experience because the project that I get is basically not big like other project lah. So basically, my project is at the KLIA at in apa? Sorry, MAB MAB KLIA, Malaysia Airline Berhad KLIA. So my project is to install, deliver, and assist the staff of the Malaysia Airline Berhad with our product, which is printer. So basically, I don't have such experience such as misunderstanding or miscommunication. So far lah. So so what I want to say is basically my job is all good and don't have any problem.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Okay.
So any else? Farah and Dayana?
Okay, I don't have any question. Farah?
I think that's all.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Azman, for joining us and give a good opinion on how to handle the problem regarding the situation and also based on your experience. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum and good evening to Mr. Khairul and fellow friends. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for allocating your time to be in this discussion today. So basically, this interview is about professional interview question based on Institute Engineer Malaysia IEM regulations on professional conduct. So before that, I would like to introduce our panel for today's discussion, Mr. Khairul, our alumni. So, Mr. Khairul, can you introduce more about you?
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, first of all, my name is Khairul Hamzani, as a project manager in DH Robotic and Automation. Okay, I have about 10 years experience, especially on automation, electrical and electronic. Okay. Mostly on R&D related to the education line and also in industry. Okay, is it okay for that?
Okay, generally, IEM form the Code of Ethics and empowers all mentioned discipline practice in Malaysia. There are 15 codes of ethics in total, but in our opinion, we can apply for 4 of them to deal with such a situation that is related to the task given. First, a member shall at all times take care to ensure that his word and the product of his word constitute no avoidable danger of death or injury or ill health to any person. Secondly, a member shall take all reasonable steps to avoid waste of natural resources, damage of the environment, and wasteful damage or destruction of the product of human skill and industry. Third, a member shall take all reasonable steps to maintain and develop his professional competence by attention to new development in science and engineering relevant to his field of professional activity, and if he is an employer, shall encourage his professional employees to do likewise. Lastly, a member shall not undertake responsibility as a professional engineer which he does not believe himself competent to discharge. Okay, so let's hear our panel opinion whether he agrees on this code or not after this.
Okay, so without further ado, we would like to hear Mr. Karo's opinion based on a given situation. The situation will be, as a young engineer, you are instructed by your employer to prepare a bankable report for a prospective project based on the information provided by your employer. You have no access to a certain reliability of the information provided. In light of the IEM regulation on professional conduct, how do you advise your employer so that you may complete your assignment with integrity?
Okay. So first of all, is it okay for me speak in bahasa?
Okay, it's okay.
Okay. Then, so for this issue, apa yang saya boleh respond is that pertamanya as a young engineer especially, okay, bila you berhadapan dengan situasi-situasi begini, pertamanya daripada segi etik lah, professional etik terutama sekali yang you kena consider, yang mengambil kira 4 perkara yang you nyatakan tadi. Yang pertama berkaitan dengan safety. Okay. Sekiranya benda yang nak dibuat ataupun yang engineer nak mencadangkan satu kerja atau cadang satu task yang nak dicadangkan tu, benda tu tidak berbahaya, yang pertama tadi. Yang kedua, benda tersebut tidak menyebabkan pencemaran kepada alam sekitar. Okay. Daripada segi you punya profesional tidak tergugat, dan juga apa yang you nak lakukan tu masih dalam skop kerja ataupun kemahiran yang you ada. Dan pada masa tersebut you boleh continue apa yang you nak laksanakan. Okay. Cuma daripada masa ke semasa as a young engineer, you perlu deal dengan you punya klien secara profesional untuk nak mendapatkan data-data sekiranya ada data yang tidak lengkap yang klien you bagi pada you untuk nak melakukan satu-satu task as a young engineer. Okay, dan you have to settle that secara profesional yang boleh. Kalau data tersebut mungkin tidak dapat kepada klien you secara terus, mungkin you kena buat carian ataupun mendapatkan maklumat daripada you punya senior engineer, daripada pengalaman dia, bagaimana untuk nak settle kes-kes yang sekiranya ada data yang tidak lengkap untuk nak lakukan satu-satu projek. So bagi saya itu opini yang saya boleh share pada young engineer lah semua sekali. Okay.
So, may I ask, okay, Mr. Karol, based on your experience, did you face any project before this that give negative impact to the community due to misinformation or another problem?
In term of experience yang ada relate dengan biasanya impact info yang salah dalam satu-satu projek tu, biasanya dia akan bagi impact pertamanya daripada segi kos, terutama sekali lah. Daripada segi kos operasi, kos melaksanakan projek tersebut, dia akan berlaku sama ada projek yang you buat tu you akan dapat pada minimum kadar minimum keuntungan. Jadi implikasi yang seperti itu sebenarnya betul. Dan yang paling besar apabila melibatkan job-job yang pengalaman daripada terdahulu yang saya sendiri alami adalah apabila dia melibatkan contohnya safety you sendiri sebagai mungkin site engineer ataupun pekerja you. Yang itu memang saya ambil berat. Yang mana apabila melibatkan safety, saya tidak akan kompromi. Dan yang mana kalau saya perlu untuk tarik diri daripada ada satu job tu, saya akan tarik diri. Saya tak akan buat. Kalau rasakan benda tu akan menyebabkan safety ataupun keselamatan saya ataupun tim saya dalam nak buat satu-satu kerja tu, saya prefer untuk tarik diri pada job tersebut. Okay, itu yang saya boleh share lah. Nak share juga, mungkin ada maklumat saya tak nyatakan, terutama sekali macam you tanya experience tadi kan. Saya tak sebagai etika seorang engineer, kita tak boleh untuk nak disclose kita punya klien. Terutama sekali kalau klien tersebut memang ada masalah ataupun klien tersebut ada isu dengan kita. Kita boleh share pengalaman berkenaan dengan klien tersebut, tetapi kita tak disclose nama company dan seterusnya. Memadai untuk pengajaran kepada diri saya sendiri dan juga kepada kawan-kawan ataupun yang engineers supaya berhati-hati dalam keadaan berdasarkan pengalaman yang saya sharekan tadi lah. Itu saja.
Macam mana kalau masalah tu timbul di antara communication pekerja tu sendiri?
Okey, biasanya masalah communication ni kita tak boleh lah, benda tu akan berlaku. Cuma kita cuba nak minimize daripada segi salah faham tersebut, yang mana kalau kata benda tu boleh diperelokkan balik, okey, dengan secara kita bermuzakarah, kita bermesyuarat, kan? Benda-benda macam tu. Kita lebih kepada open discussion, ataupun kalau benda tersebut miscommunication tu antara individu dengan individu, jadi cara yang terbaik kita tak lakukan benda tu secara open. Sama ada kita tarik dua-dua orang yang berkenaan, bawa berbincang sesama mereka, dan kita sebagai as a leader, kalau kata you as engineer sebagai leader dalam satu projek, you kena ada di situ untuk meleraikan permasalahan tu secara profesional lah. Okay. Boleh?
So that's all. Is there anyone to add more? No. So thank you, Mr. Carol, for joining us and give a good opinion on how to handle the problem regarding the situation, and also based on your experience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Welcome.